What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the interweb? Today is Tuesday, October 8th, 2024. Silent Hill 2 came out today, but more importantly, you and I are going through all the games that I bought when I went back home over the last 2 weeks. I traveled from El Paso, Texas to Kentucky, which is my home state. It's about 1,500 miles. It was 2 plane trips there and 2 plane trips back. While I was back home, a hurricane also hit, so that was pretty interesting. In my lifetime, I've been through probably 20 different hurricanes, but usually by the time they hit, Kentucky and Appalachia, it's at that point just going to be rain and thunderstorms and high winds. It's nothing like actually hurricaning. As you know, I run every single day, and the Friday that the hurricane hit, that was no different. I went running about 15 minutes before the hurricane actually hit us. And by the time it hit us, because at this point it was just drizzling rain, so I was like, okay, that's no problem at all. And I thought it was just going to be that, but then maybe a little pickup winds or something. But no, that hurricane went hyperbolic, really. It knocked down trees everywhere. The wind was insane. I had to put my arm up like this because it was just hitting me in the face like glass. It hurt, quite honestly. When I was running around this little track in the neighborhood, this tree fell down like 10 seconds after I passed it. That was insane. And then the more southern parts of Appalachia, like Asheville, North Carolina, just got completely obliterated. It's gone. It's gone now. So it probably goes without saying, but for the majority of my time back home, I was landlocked. When I went back home last year, I drove so I could go wherever I wanted, but this time flying, I was kind of isolated to a couple different game stores. I was isolated to CN Games and Fayette Mall, Game Exchange, and Half Price Books. But to be honest, if you know anything about those three game stores, that is all you need. All you need. But now, with all that out the way, let's get into what I actually bought. So this is in order of console. So we're going with like what I find the least interesting to the most interesting. So first off the top, I got Killzone finally. I actually really wanted this game a lot when I was a kid, but I never got around to buying it. And actually, I never played a Killzone until Killzone on PlayStation 4 and then again on the PlayStation Vita. So I'm going back through and I'm going to play Killzone 1, 2, and 3 now. So I'm pretty excited to get this finally. Only took like 20 years. Outlaws Golf, Nine Holes of Christmas. This is on the Xbox. Honestly, I don't know too much about this game, but the golfing games back then were very interesting to say the least. And Outlaw Golf was really good. And I had no idea that there was a Christmas edition. So I'm looking forward to jumping in and playing those holes. Pursuit Force on the PSP. This is another one of those games I know absolutely nothing about, but it looked really, really cool. And I had never heard of it before. So I was like, you know what? Let's get it and try it out. Now, this game is another one I had never heard anything before. It's on the Dreamcast. It's called MDK2. So I guess I'm gonna have to find MDK1 before I play this. But I guess from what I can tell by it, it's like three heroes. They have one goal. It's a platformer, action platformer, really. Honestly, I have no idea, but I'm excited to play it. Road Rash 3D on the PlayStation. I actually had this game as a kid. I don't know what happened to my original copy, but I am so glad to have this back in my collection again. I played the life out of this, and I'm looking forward to jumping in and playing it probably within the next week or two. Armorines Project Swarm, also on the PlayStation, another game I never heard of, not even once in my life. But I've been playing a lot of Helldivers 2 over this past year, and I saw the back that you're fighting creatures very similar to what you fight in Helldivers. So I thought, you know what? Let's try it out. It might not have the Helldivers vibe or the Earth Defense Force vibe, but I figured it'd be pretty interesting to play and maybe a little bit of fun to play as well. The Land Before Time Great Valley Racing Adventure. Another game I had as a kid. I don't know what happened to my original copy, so I'm glad to have this back in the collection again. I loved The Land Before Time as a kid. I absolutely loved it. I had, I think, every single game that it had on the PlayStation, and I've lost all of them over time. So obviously, I'm going to go back and start getting them up again now. I think there was a couple on PlayStation 2, and I want to say in Europe there was one on the PlayStation 3, but I don't quote me on that. But I'm glad to be hunting these back down and have them in again. This is another game that I find incredibly dumb, but I bought it anyways. So it's another puzzle game on the Nintendo DS. And if you have ever watched any of my collection update videos in the past, stupid puzzle games on the DS is just, it's kind of my thing. I just keep buying them. There's no reason to buy them. I just keep buying them. But it looks fun. It looks like it's a little geek who's trying to get a girlfriend or something, or just like geeky puzzles. Honestly, I don't know. I'll let you know after I try it, but it definitely looks very fun. And now onto the PlayStation 3. Half of these games I've never heard of before and have no recollection of in my life. This is Fallen Angels Sacred 2. Unfortunately, it's kind of damaged. I don't know if you can tell, but like here it's ripped up, it's ripped here, and I didn't realize that when I bought it. But either way, it looks like another like one of those tactical RPG type games, kind of like a Diablo type game. I'm looking forward to jumping into it. What really caught my eye on it was, of course, the original PlayStation 3 backing. So it's from way back in the day. It says 2009 on the back, so it probably began production like 2006, 2005. So I love going back in time and looking at these games. A lot of the games that I picked up on the PlayStation 3 this time around are actually role-playing games, but there are some, like this one, that are legendary that I never played back in the day. This is Midnight Club Los Angeles Complete Edition. Everybody always talks about Midnight Club being this grandiose, insane game, but growing up, I was always a Need for Speed person. I never dabbled really in Midnight Club at all. But now that I'm older and I'm into cars, I drive a Challenger. You know this because you see it in videos in the past. I show it off every chance I get. But I'm really glad to have this because as I've gotten older, and I didn't really get into cars until I was into my 20s, but now being into them and going back and trying games like this is really cool to see, what, car games it used to be and what car culture was back in the day. This specific game came out in 2009 for the complete edition. I believe the original came out in 2006 for the base day one edition. So there's a lot of time. So there's a lot of things that's changed since then. Obviously, that's 18 years of car progression. So I'm looking forward to go back and looking at these cars. And the next one, a lot of you guys know this. I have bought a ton of games on Xbox 360, but I lost half of them in, when I was moving to Texas from Kentucky. So I decided to just buy those games again, but on PlayStation this time. So we got Iron Man on the PlayStation. I love the MCU movies. I just got my girlfriend into watching them. We are up to the first Avengers, just finished that one. I've seen all of them, but she's watching them all for the first time. So I'm really glad to have this on PlayStation. My Xbox 360 version actually has disc rot now, so that's awesome. Going back to our earlier discussion, Killzone 2, same thing as earlier. I always wanted it, never got it, but now I have it. And I gotta get Killzone 3. Unfortunately, none of the stores I went to had it, but I'll probably get that off eBay or something. There's something crackling around in it. I did not know that there would be a PSP advertisement within this. The big games being advertised are Madden and Ratchet Size Matters, or Clank, or Secret Agent Clank. Interesting little tad bit of history. And then this, I had no idea it existed. I had no idea that there was an Iron Man 2 game. I know there was an Iron Man 1 and a Thor, and I want to say a Captain America and a Hulk. But I did not know they did an Iron Man 2. I know that all these games like commercially bombed, but they're supposedly all very, very good games. I know Iron Man 1's a good game because I played it to death, but I'm excited to go back through this. This is another game I didn't know existed, X-Men Destiny. It looks like it's, it's your classic action fighting game or action adventure game. And I'm looking forward to going through this. I've been on a really big X-Men kick recently. I finally started reading House of X, and it is awesome. What really got me into doing it was, Deadpool and Wolverine came out, so everyone and their mother just went through and rewatched every single movie. So I'm still on a giant X-Men kick right now. White Knight Chronicles International Edition, another game I know absolutely nothing about. Other than that, it's a first-party Sony game. It came out in 2009, and it's an action game, but also an RPG. From what I've read online once after I bought it, it's kind of. Did they not put the game in here? Okay, okay, I didn't hear nothing rattle. Oh, wait, there we go again. Let me open this. Uncharted 2 being advertised. PlayStation. Oh, wait, oh my gosh. That's super nostalgic, super throwback. I don't know if if the camera's gonna pick it up, but it has the original PlayStation store on the back. I've not seen that in years. I remember being incredibly frustrated trying to download games off of PlayStation Network way, way back then. Only demos, because nobody bought games digitally in 2009. But it's just so frustrating. But that store, it just looks so much better than what the PlayStation 3's final store was and what the PlayStation 4 had. And then the last game, I don't even think I can play this anymore, but it's Brink. Only reason I bought it is because it had the slipcover and it was in really nice condition. I'll probably start it up and try it. I think it was one of the first live service games. I don't know if there's an offline story or anything, but I'll find out when we get there. So that is the 16 games that I bought during my trip back home to Kentucky. I wish I could have bought more and I had planned to buy more, but these games filled my backpacks up really quickly. And I don't travel with suitcases or anything. I just have two tactical backpacks that I take. So I honestly didn't want to mail anything because that's what the fate of my old Xbox 360 games all had. Half of them got lost in the mail because USPS will hire literally anybody with a pulse, and half of those packages got lost. It's just, it's very upsetting, very sad. But it doesn't matter because I'm buying it all on PlayStation 3 now. which is where I should have been buying it in the first place, because I was more of a PlayStation 3 kid growing up instead of a 360. But ladies and gentlemen, until the next big pickups video, I've been Crusanjo. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, shout out to Die, and I'll see you in the next video. Be catching you back here in a couple days or a week, however long it takes, with a review of Silent Hill 2 and a review of a fancy microphone I got sent. October, November, big things for the channel. Keep a lookout.